I'm excited about a new month of reading. March. What month are we even in? April. April has been an interesting month for reading. I found I tried a new genre and found a 5-star, which was awesome. Definitely had two of my favorite books of the year so far, and I'll be talking about those in my wrap-up coming out probably next week. I want to go ahead and kind of get an idea of what I'm going to be reading for May. I debated about going back to the TBR jar, whether I wanted to or not. Of the 5 books that I picked for the TBR jar, I tried one and put it down for now because it was very similar to a couple other books I was reading, so I put that to the side. The other ones I just didn't even pick up. That was the second month that I did the TBR jar, and I think I've said this before, when I make a TBR, it's like those books are guaranteed that I'm not going to read them, because it's sort of like being told to read them, even though I picked them. It's weird, I know, but that's what happens. I'm gonna try the TBR jar again. I was gonna say one more time, but we know I'll probably try it more than that. And I thought maybe I would pick fewer books, because there's also 2 readathons that I want to participate in. And when I say participate for the readathons, I'm only gonna pick one or 2 books. I'm looking over here because I have a stack of possibilities, but just pick 1 or 2 books to see if I get to them. So let's do 4 picks from the TBR jar. Should we try that? I did add a few more into the TBR jar. Those are the blue slips. And they were basic, like 4th shelf, 20th book or whatever. Want to make sure that I can get them nice and shuffled through, right? All right, so let's pick the first one and see. I'm going to be looking to see if my pile of possibility books meet the prompt. Okay, TBR jar. I can't get it open. Okay. Weather in the title. Weather in the title. So we're going to go with the one that I found, What the Wind Knows by Amy Harmon. Wind is weather related. And this is an unforgettable love story. A woman's impossible journey through the ages could change everything. This is about a woman who basically her grandfather is from Ireland, and he dies, and she travels to his childhood home. And it's in 1921, teetering on the edge of war. So I've heard a lot of great things about this book. I think I've read Amy Harmon before. Did she write, what was the other book I read by her? A Girl Called Samson. Did she write that book? If she did, I'll put it right here. The one that I'm thinking of. So, okay. So here's our weather-related book. Let's go ahead and get another one out. Ooh, a blue one. One of the new ones. Okay. Oh, dang it. Pick a classic. I put it in here because I wanted to read something off my classic shelf. And I need to, my classic shelf is behind you. What classic do I want to read? Honestly, okay, I'm gonna make this work because I really feel like the Chronicles of Narnia are classics, right? The series is a classic. So I want to read the next one in my series that I need to read is The Voyage of the Dawn Treader. And this is dragons and a king and unexpected companions. And that's pretty much what I feel like most of the Narnia books are about. So this will be my classic. So we can make that work. All right, number 3. Let's see, let's get this one. Number 3. Why do I keep doing this to myself? Translated fiction. Now, I have enjoyed translated fiction, and I do enjoy it. The problem is knowing which ones are, do I have many that are translated? I don't know. So, for the translated work, this is one that I have out from the library. It is The Boy from Clearwater, Book 1 by Yao Pei Yun and Zhao Jan Xing, and it's translated by Lin King. This is 2 timelines in Taiwan, and the first one is a boy that grew up sneaking into sugar fields, reciting nursery rhymes he couldn't understand, despite Japanese occupation looming over him. As war emerges, his memories shift to military parades, air raids, and watching others face conscription into the army. Tries to learn Mandarin and be a good son. And then Taiwan 1950s, he is in his second year in the high school. He attends a book club hosted by his teacher, and comes back to haunt him when he is consequently arrested on a charge of taking part in an illegal assembly. So it's an incredible true story that lays bare the tortured and triumphant history of Taiwan, an island claimed and fought over by many countries, through the life story of a man who lived through its most turbulent times. I found this at the library, very interested in it. It's a graphic novel and goes through different I'm trying to say color palettes, which I like, especially with a longer graphic novel, when they kind of delineate with different color palettes. And May typically is the Asian readathon, and so this would work for that. So that's 3 books. Let's try one more from the TBR jar. Shouldn't even look. Oh, another blue one. Read a book in a series. Read a book in a series. Okay. So this one works for that. In May is the Spoonie Readathon, hosted by Emily at Novels. And I'm forgetting the other person who is hosting it. I will put their channel down here. And a Spoonie is a person with a disability that impacts them in some way, such as fatigue, pain, the energy for the day, stamina, breathing, any kind. But the readathon, while it's called the Spoonie Readathon, it's pretty broad. And one of the prompts is to read a book with a character with a sensory disability, which would be any of the senses. And so I'm going to read, and my prompt was in a series. So this is the second in a series by Nell Pattison. This is Silent Night. And this follows a woman who is a British Sign Language interpreter, and she is a consultant and gets hired to help with certain police investigations typically. And this one is when a school for the deaf take a trip and some of the students get lost in a storm. And so she goes and helps with the interpretation. I've read the first one in this series, which was A Silent House, and I liked it. It wasn't like a new favorite or anything like that. So I'm interested to keep going with the series, and so this fits that prompt. It also fits for the Spoonie Readathon. All right, so that is my TBR that we're gonna do. We are gonna do, so for the prompt of weather in the title, we're gonna go with What the Wind Knows by Amy Harmon. For a classic, the classics prompt, we're gonna go for the next book that I need to read in the Chronicles of Narnia series. This is The Voyage of the Dawn Treader. And then a translated work is one of my library books that I have out, is a graphic novel, The Boy from Clearwater by Yu Pei Yoon and Zhao Jan Xing, and translated by Lin King. And then a book in a series, which is also going to meet a prompt for the Spoonie Readathon. This is Silent Night by Nell Pattison, which is the second in the Paige Northwood series, I guess. That's the main character. Yeah, so we got those. Now, a couple others that I know I'm going to read that I don't have right here. I'm going to be doing a buddy read with Lori from Books, Ink, and Paper of Kristen Hanna's Magic Hour. I have a book club book, which I always forget to look and see what the book club book is before I do this. I'll insert here what the book club book is. I will be doing a video on Spoonie related books for the Spoonie Readathon. I will also do a little bit of a video about my experience as a Spoonie, what being a Spoonie means, and yeah, that's kind of some of my plans coming up. So we've got the shortlist books for the Carol Shields Prize and for the Women's Prize for Fiction. And I'm going to try and read some of them that I'm interested in. Another book I'm going to try and read for the Asian Readathon is, this was on my April TBR, 8 Lives of a Century-Old Trickster by Mireille Lee. We still have a couple of days, probably 4 days when I'm filming this left of April, so I could potentially start this. This is, did I say it's for the Asian Readathon and on the shortlist for the Women's Prize? I've heard some good things about this and I'm really interested in it. And since I let myself buy a full price book at my local bookstore, I should read it. I want to read it. I'm trying to read one book of the month book from my book of the month backlist, and I'm going to read Independence by Chitra Bandri Divakaruni. So this is 3 sisters, their deep bond, and the struggle for India's freedom. So I would really like to get to this one. I've been interested, obviously, since I got it. So I'm slowly going back to the 12 and 24 that I want to read, which is another goal that I had. And these are 12 books that have been on my shelf for a very long time, and I want to read them. Now, so far, if you've been hanging out with me for a bit, you know that I've tried 3 that were randomly selected on a spinner wheel, and those 3 I have DNF'd. So it was successful and it got them off my shelf, but I haven't found any that I actually wanted to read fully. So this time we're going to try a new approach. We're going to not use a spinner wheel, and I just picked one that I felt was kind of calling to me, that I'm most interested in. So hopefully we can, right now I'm hesitant to pick up any of them because of my experience so far, but you know what? We're going to go with what's calling to me. This is Her Fearful Symmetry by Audrey Niffenegger. She wrote The Time Traveler's Wife, which I really enjoyed, but it's been a long time since I read The Time Traveler's Wife. So I want to see if I still enjoy her writing. It was the best book of 2009. See how old this is? In the New Yorker, the Washington Post, and the Salt Lake Tribune. Julia and Valentina Poole are 20-year-old sisters with an intense attachment to each other. One morning, the mailman delivers a thick envelope to their house in the suburbs of Chicago. Their English aunt, Elspeth Noblin, has died of cancer and left them her London apartment. There are 2 conditions for this inheritance. They have to live in the flat for a year before they sell it, and their parents cannot enter. So this is really interesting. Another one about sisters and something strange about this flat that the parents can't enter. So that is another one I'm putting on my pile of possibilities, and we'll see what happens for that. Like I said, I'm gonna do some kind of Spoonie readathon recommendations, possibilities in the next week or so. So if you would like to see that, hit the subscribe button and notification when I post. I'm trying to be on a schedule for posting on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. It doesn't always happen that way, but we'll talk more about that when we talk about being a spoonie, which part of that is not having much energy during the day. I'll do some vlogs this month as well, and yeah, just kind of see how it goes. I've really enjoyed having conversations with you all in the comments and getting to know some of you and also my friends who have come on and are commenting below. I'm really enjoying our bookish conversation, which is why we're all here, right? I hope you're having a great reading month, and let me know in the comments if you've read any new favorites, and I will see you soon. Bye.